just 1 minute past the hour of 9 a.m. in the morning. Just right now, as you're still watching Smart Means Business, of course, as we deliver to you the business reports of both local and international at the same time. And at this special, let's say we're going to get into our business insight. And of course, it's going to be on a topic that has been trending on social media across so many platforms, and that is the NSSF. And of course, this is Minister Betty AMONGI's NSSF report. Let's review this. We shall be returning shortly.
Again, by December 31st, an examination which I was given by NSSF showed that by December 31st, 2021, 420 cases were reported by whistleblowers, and the whistleblowers were indicating that employers were non-compliant and were not remitting their funds. And that by January 17, 2022, 213 cases were registered at magistrates' court across the country. 65% in Central Region, 15% in the North, and 20% in the East and Western Region. I want to thank East and Western because your rate of people going to court are few, meaning maybe you are complying. And with that, the statistic I was given from NSSF was that 200 billion, those who had gone to court, 200 billion were unremitted contribution by defaulting employers. So if I am asking that, put 6 billion to get 200 billion, you make your assessment. That over 20 cases by employers.
You're saying you're asking for 6 billion from NSSF?
My statement will come. I will tell you the power I have to make the budget, right, Honorable Speaker. The over 20 cases by employees are in court against NSSF, seeking recovery from NSSF their money not remitted by their employers. Again, NSSF gave me a brief that there are people who are going to court and saying, it is your mandate to enforce collection of my money. Since you have not collected my money, I am taking you, NSSF, to court. You are the one to pay because you failed to collect on my behalf. So that case, there are also those cases against NSSF in court. The other brief I got was that...
Honorable members, it is free sitting. Kindly, if you have nowhere to sit, cross over to this side. Honorable Segona is waiting for you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the other brief was that under the old law, when the new act came into force, we made an analysis of what target the new law was envisaging. And under that, we realized that only 48% of employers in the fund have 5 or more employees. So in this country, those who are employed generally, only 48% had the 5 and above. Now, with the new law, 52% needed to be brought on board under the new law in the formal sector, far higher than what was covered under the previous law. So the previous law was looking at 48%. This new law now has to target 52% more. And in the informal sector, which accounts for 75% of the total workplaces, we needed, the new law now permits that we go in that informal sector. And it is the informal sector which accounts for 75% of your workplaces. Strategic initiative that I directed the board to examine and come up with the proposition. Given the background above, and with my mandate as a political supervisor, I directed the board to examine the following options in a bid to achieve the strategic objectives outlined above. Number one, I asked them to establish an online system for whistleblowers to report non-compliance by employers who deduct money. And I told you the statistics before. The 200 billion not remitting, I asked them to put an online system where employers don't deduct and do not remit contribution, people can call and report. This intervention is important because compliance at the moment stands at only 51% in the informal sector, and yet we have been added more 52% to add as a contributing environment. I directed them to come with initiative to drive mass registration of both eligible employers and employees, considering that the law is targeting 75% of the employment categories in informal sector that were originally not captured under the old law, and an additional 52% that now have less than 5 employees as not covered under the old law. I asked them to come with initiative to drive mandatory registration by undertaking on-site registration in all industrial parks. And Right Honorable Speaker, when I came to office, the first thing I did was to visit all industrial parks. I visited plantation and I visited road construction site. I want the committee to go there and see how workers are going to cry before you in those industrial parks. Men sitting and crying in front of me that my contributions are not being remitted. It has been deducted, it has not been remitted. So I asked the board to come up with a strategy to drive that registration so that we are able to capture these other 48% that are not on our system. And statistics from Uganda Bureau of Statistics Report 2021 indicate that the total labor force in Uganda now stands at between 15 to 19 million workers. And this constituency, we need to tap into it so that in the new benefit under the NSSF, they can be registered. I asked the board to follow up with enforcement in case of defaulting entities as per Section 14 of the Act. I asked them to strengthen collaboration with other stakeholders to support us in driving and scaling up communication. And some of the partnership that we have, which we want to scale up, is with URA, Uganda Investment Authority, because they license the investors and they're in charge of industrial park. We want to partner with other government MDAs to enforce non-registration of businesses without compliance certificate. The Act actually says, if you have a license, you're going to renew. If you don't have a compliance certificate from NSSF, you should not be renewed. So now we want to partner with the police, because police, they're the ones who do a lot of work with the security companies. Uganda Investment Authority, investment licenses, URBS, they have also all that. UNBS, they give licenses. We want that partnership so that if you go to renew your license, you must present a compliance certificate from NSSF before you are given a renewal of license. We want to partner with Federation of Uganda Employers, with labor unions, private sector foundation, Uganda Chambers of Commerce, Uganda Manufacturers Association, for coordinating, sensitizing, creating awareness and consensus building on implementation, compliance and enforcement. Right Honorable Speaker, you will note that the new voluntary contribution, you cannot just throw it in the face of the private sector.
Well, welcome back from that insight. That's Minister Betty Amongi's report regarding the NSSF. Of course, something which has really been a very trending topic regarding the report that leaked, of course, exposing the corruption which is into the NSSF. Maybe just a brief highlight here. Of course, some of the issues that were raised was that 400 cases were reported, of course, by whistleblowers, 420 cases rather, and of course, seeing the aspect that employers are not compliant and not remitting their funds, and the need of 200 billion 200 billion shillings were remitted, of course, unremitted funds, sorry, rather. And of course, Minister was asking for 6 billions to be in position to recover 200 billions. Well, we want to get to see how realistic that. And of course, with me, I'm joined with one of my favorite reporters in the media industry. As of course, we are going to have an insight regarding the matters happening. But before that, let's, Pedson, happy to have you on site.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm also happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome.
I didn't know I'm your favorite reporter.
You are my
It's
favorite
the
reporter.
first time I'm hearing this,
Yeah.
but thank you for
And,
that.
it's a great honor that I'm with you. Who am I to be with you? For sure.
Also me, I'm also happy to be here.
All right. Now,
Okay.
getting back to the topic.
Yeah.
What's about that NSSF said? What do you really think? What's, the
A couple
corruption?
of things have been happening
Yeah.
at the NSSF, NSSF offices and all the saga. I've been following it.
Yeah.
Remember yesterday, but one, Tambala MP, that's Mwanga Chivumbi,
Yeah.
came up with a letter and showed it to the parliament, before the parliament.
Yeah.
The letter that claimed to have been written by Betty Amon,
Yes.
the Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, was having a lot of allegations, corruption allegations that's happening at the NSSF office. And people were asking themselves, how safe is
Their
our
money.
money? You get? And this has been the question all along. But still, before, the minister took a silence, she decided to be silent on it. Not until the speaker come on ground and was like, you guys must appear before parliament and talk about this. We want to know how safe our money is. And the ministries that were concerned was the Ministry of Finance and Gender, Labour and Social Development, the two ministries, to come and explain this.
Okay.
So they were told, that was yesterday, but one to come and appear before Parliament and give us all and clear the way. And this is the clip that they have been showing on TV right now.
Yeah. Yes. But Pedson, if I may ask,
Yep.
is that money there?
That money is there.
Sure.
That money is there. But how safe is it? Since there are corruption allegations.
Okay.
You remember? And then what is making us fail to understand these things? Just one. The letter that is claimed to have been written by the minister, but then the minister was denying it.
Denying it.
It's like, I don't know the sources of that letter.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. You saw Mwanga Chivumbi showing it before the parliament. Then we ask ourselves, what is going on? You see, what's going on? And people are like, is our money safe? The money is there, but we don't know. And you know, Mugabe has been the idiot at whatever. Has he been eating this money? We don't know those things. But still, I don't want to guarantee that the money is not safe or the money is. We are still not yet sure, but we're still investigating these issues. Government is still investigating on these
Because
issues.
the greatest concern was people saying, is our money still there? Anyway, away from that, looking, before we get into what you're going to, the story of the day,
Yeah.
a week ago, I think,
Yeah.
there was, a requisition of NSSF to get about 6 billion.
6 billion. Yeah.
And, they were saying that currently they have about 1.3 million people that are serving in NSSF. And by 2025, they plan that they have about 15 million. So, do you really think people will be willing? Because it's a partnership between UBRA, the regulator, there is Ministry of Gender,
Yes.
Labour, and NSSF. Now, do you really think people will be in position to pay attention to what NSSF will be telling them with this current saga?
Me,
According to your experience, when you
this is what I think as a person.
It's okay.
We should first clear out all these irregularities and let us be positive
Okay.
when we are responding to NSSF issues. You get?
Yes.
Let us not politicize this.
The people are politicizing it.
People have started politicizing it.
Okay.
There's no one who is sure about all these allegations that are coming.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
I want people to be positive. Keep remitting, keep keeping your money with NSSF. You get? That's it. And if I was the PR to NSSF, I would come out and clear the way.
Okay.
And put the hearts of people at
Peace.
peace. After putting the hearts of people at peace, then you're creating what we call trust.
Okay.
After creating trust, then people will save.
People talking.
People will start saving.
Okay.
You get it? That's what the PR, public relations office, I don't know whether she's, he or she, I don't know how. That's what
That's what they should be doing.
same thing with NSSF is very important. You get it? It is very important because this money helps you in the future.
Okay.
Yes. So all this corruption, these are just allegations. We don't know whether it is true or not, but let us pray that this is not true.
This is not true.
Yeah, let us pray that our money is there. And I'm very sure the money is there.
Okay.
The money is there.
Those are billions of money.
Yeah.
Of people right there.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the story of the day. What do you have for us today?
Hey, a couple of things.
Yeah.
And I think our today's business bulletin will be nice. I don't know whether you have read the journal.
Yeah, I was
auditor's
actually,
report,
I've been looking for it.
the Auditor General's
let me
report
see.
2021, 2022.
It
A
was,
lot of irregularities, payments to public service,
Actually, it's here.
whatever.
Auditor General and
Very many things.
wrote. Actually, there was even the aspect of wrote in parish development.
Parish development.
Yeah.
Already, there's some money. You saw my tweet.
I say.
Already some money, close to 3 something plus billion have started being swindled by, okay,
Like
not accounted for
it's not accounted
by the local government authorities. So I don't know what's wrong with us because this is the money that is meant to develop the person at the grassroots.
to the grassroots.
So if they have started swindling it to that magnitude, it is really scary.
But you know the parish, when the parish development was being launched, it was. Do you really think so far it is answering people's problems according to your how you've been following?
If this swindling things starts coming up, starts showing up, then that means PDM is not going to answer people's problems.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
It is the money that's going to, again, to the people just for development.
Yes.
If they have started swindling it to this magnitude, it is too scary. And this is the Auditor General of our country,
Uganda.
I want to think that this is true information.
Free information.
Because this is our Auditor General. I must follow what the
Okay.
report is saying. Now, there are very many things that were unearthed from that same report.
Yes.
But me, I wanted to look at, again, they're saying over
3,000?
33 billion. I'm now getting to get into the story that I'm following that.
Okay.
Over 33 billion.
Yes.
Government is losing over 33 billion in payroll irregularities.
Okay. Irregular.
In the payroll irregularities. They are saying part of money was paid to people who have already died, staff who absconded, the whatever, eligible teachers,
Ghost teachers.
ghost teachers. So that's where the money was lost. So this is the money that has been lost by the government of Uganda. 33 billion.
That's a lot.
Where is that money? Why are you paying people who are dead?
Okay.
Eh?
That is curious.
Now this goes to public service because it is the one that releases, that pays government workers. So that's a follow-up I want to make. This was the story I want to make.
Yeah. You know, when I see this, paying the teachers.
The teachers and staff who abscond.
Why is it that? Is it that people, our follow-up policies we don't care about, going deep on ground to find out where the money is being allocated, whether it's really reaching the hands of the people that it's supposed to reach to?
We will not go away from the fact that there's still high levels of corruption
Everywhere.
in our country. Let's talk about our country.
Yes.
For example, I can ask you, the staff who absconded work are known.
They are not.
The public service must be in the know of these people.
Exactly.
The teachers, let's say anybody who died of, public service must be in the know.
Yeah.
So, who is that particular person that's receiving this money for the dead people?
What you're saying reminds me sometime.
Yeah.
I'm a tech guy. I met an innovator that was working on what we call an electronic documentation system.
Okay.
For government agents, and he told me one of the government, the ministries that are going to start with is the public service.
Yes.
because they realize, because with that you will have the details when the government clearly documents the entire people in that ministry from the very root, from the very Muntu seat, from the top.
Yes.
And that. So I think that I'll still acknowledge it back that we still have, the way we can I say data entry, because if somebody dies, automatically the system will cut him off.
Yes,
it comes
exact.
Yeah, but it's not the case when we have still a paper-based documentation system. And I'm trying to think, in my opinion, that could be one of the factors leading to why there is that, can I say, laziness, and in terms of going deep to follow up what is, you see what is really on the ground. Well, and of course, I'm here with Benson Mumbere. Of course, we are discussing some matters, of course, quite lots of business, taking place here. Some events that are happening, and it's very important not to turn a blind eye on these events simply because you may not care that, not until it comes back to your personal life. I think that's when you get to realize how serious this is. And with this, we should be in position to determine, of course, the decisions we are making for our businesses and what direction as CEOs or as people pursuing the life of entrepreneurship should really head. Now, Benson, what in a way you see that you're going to do a follow-up?
Yeah,
probably
going to make a follow-up. You see, Andrew, if the government keep on losing some amount of money, it affects the service delivery.
Yeah,
you get people will not get medicine from the hospitals. People will not get all the infrastructures, that's the roads and stuff. People, I think there will be very many problems. And if you read that report, it's not only this, the Auditor General's report. There are very many irregularities, and they have gone with lost money. Government loses this. Government loses this. So we as Smart 24 reporters, this is what we look at. Yes. Yeah.
And about the Auditor General's report, I saw something about money that was given to fake circles which didn't exist.
Also, all those things are there.
So that comes back
and they are happening.
Irregularities. How can you not know that this is a fake circle and you just give out money?
And there are also guidelines. There are guidelines that explains if a good circle that is supposed to receive PDM money. That guidelines are there. But my dear, just don't know. We have to make follow-ups of these stories. Of course, we'll be giving a lot happens. I'm planning to go and meet the Public Service Commission
today.
Yeah, today. That's when and I was going to call the minister, that is Murulu Kasa, Minister for Public Service.
Okay.
And we see how he can respond to this, because this is his
of operation.
33 billion.
Oh yeah.
Lost by government through payroll irregularities.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he can give us some. He can respond to this and see how does it. How do they have any means to detect that a certain staff, certain government school so and so died or left or what?
Yeah.
And people money keep us. But even I'm asking myself. Do money keep on coming to their accounts? Even when they are dead?
It must be. Because it's actually the first time we're having issues of ghost teachers, salaries being paid to ghost teachers.
So there's something. So all this is what we are going to look at today. I also don't have information what happens, not until
because business today will have
yes, we will have this. If we fail, still we see there are some people who after hearing in such thing, then she may tend to run away from the media. But let me hope the minister will not fear to meet me and we discuss about
is he watching? Probably.
Yeah.
Well, and of course we're still having a discussion of this particular report about the Auditor General's report, and business today will be having more details regarding that report with Benson Mumbere. So to get much more details about the ghost teachers, of course, money going out there in a way that it's not accounted for. If you really want to get the whole picture of the story, we've just been sharing a brief highlight on that. 9 p.m. today, business today, Benson Mumbere will be giving us more details of the report. And it's 25 minutes past 9 a.m. We're going to get very short commercial break, and when we return, I'm still with Pedersen as we're going to have a picture of how the week has been like. He's been on ground, meeting different people, and of course, he's been making some of your most favorite news stories you've been watching on Business Today, all the way from Monday to Thursday. So we are going to be breaking down those stories when we return after the break.
Smart 24, driving business.